The Austin 7 Pearl sunroof. This is where it, this is how it works. We are with another Austin 7.
Yes, welcome back to another episode with the Motor Shed. This is an Austin 7 Pearl from 1936, and it's much more refined than the original Austin 7 we drove about a month ago.
We're going to show you all the differences between this and that, and just why I like this car.
Yes,
we really do like this car. We've had to fill it up with fuel and done 5 minutes in it, and I'm already in love.
Yes, so let's find out why.
So this particular car is a 1936 Austin 7 Pearl. Pearl referring to, I believe, the body shape, but it had this slidey detachable roof. I actually haven't taken this off and I don't know how to yet, but you'll learn with me. This car, at some point, we will put the details in the description of when this car's had work done, but I believe it's been done inside and throughout, and that's probably why it looks that nice to say. It's quick maths with Ben. It's over 80 years old. It's an old car, is the point. More than 80, but that's not the point. Have a look inside at the blue leather interior. We were saying earlier, why do cars not have light blue interiors? Because it's delicious in there. It's so pretty. For some reason, you sit slightly higher, but the door itself, or where the window frame starts, sits at around there, so it's the perfect height to do that. And that is the driving position. Your arm rests there, and you go to the farm shop and pick up your country sourdough and toddle off back home. And I'm now going to attempt, or you're going to learn with me, to show you why you'd buy a Pearl over everything else. It's going to be button, button, button. These three are already conveniently undone. And then inside, there's a catch there and a catch there. You sort of clip them off the thing, and then that looks off. Oh. So that's like part of it. The Austin 7 Pearl sunroof. This is where it, this is how it works. Do these come out? Oh, there's that as well. These hinges don't look like they move much. Cameraman, any ideas? Aha. So that comes back.
Oh, roll it nicely, roll it.
Okay, so I take you.
No, yeah.
Let's go with this. Well, the Austin 7 dealership didn't show me at the time, so that's why I'm struggling. Hang on. Do you? Aha! So you have to click that like that, and then behold your roofless Austin 7 Pearl. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I bet you that's even better in the back. Look how much space you've got.
Yeah. Right. Time to drive it.
Time to drive it.
So we've got the roof off.
Space that you could ever need.
Yes. It must be quite good fun from the back, and we'll experience that later. But first of all,
join me.
There's the other camera.
The inside world.
Our thoughts.
Right, so you can now have a look at what we meant. Oh, we haven't even spoken about it, never mind. You can now have a look at what we're about to talk about, which is why I think this is a better car to drive than the one we drove. The gearbox is simple. It's a H-plan, so you've just got first, second, third, fourth, and then you lift and down and right for reverse, and that just goes in. So, ignition on, choke out, and a bit of gas, and there's a starter pull. Just let that rev up a bit, and then we're good to go. So, that's down into first. And there we go! And the good thing about this as well is, unlike the last Austin 7 we drove where the clutch is a button and it is on or off, with this you've got some real travel. But as long as you take your time with it, it's just as easy as a normal gearbox. It just requires that extra beat. And one thing that this has that the Morris 8 doesn't even, is all this space. This is amazing. I love that. The whole interaction process seems simpler. It doesn't frustrate me. I would actually, when I said in the Morris 8 video last week that I wouldn't want to take an Austin 7 out on the road, I would take this out on the road because this does give me confidence. The principle for the Austin 7 was Herbert Austin, Sir Herbert Austin, wanted to bring a car like Ford Model T to the United Kingdom. He wanted a car that was accessible for everyone, that people could afford. At the time there was something called horsepower tax, which essentially meant the higher horsepower your engine, the more tax you'd have to pay. So the 7 horsepower engine was a result of trying to evade that tax. So when he went to the Austin 7 board, or the Austin 7 board, the Austin Motor Group board even, and premised the idea of the Austin 7, they all said no. They said that it wasn't going to be profitable, there was no point in doing such a thing because we like money. And what he did, he found a then 17-year-old, he was an engineer, there's a term that I was looking for earlier, but he's a 17-year-old engineer, and he partnered up with him and he went to his house, to his billiard room, his actual billiard room, and they set up shop in the billiard room and they designed this car behind the back of the board. Later premised the idea of the car, managed to convince them that that was the right idea, and they went and built it. And because he had such, well, Herbert Austin had such a hand in the design of this car, he patented all of, or many of the parts of the car, which led to him having a £2.10 royalty payment fee for every Austin 7 they sold. They sold 290,000, which would have meant, in old money, would have been about 600,000 and something pounds. And in today's translation, he was paid a sum of over 30 million pounds just for this car as a set fee, on top of whatever he was paid by Austin. So Sir Herbert Austin was a rich man.
Yes, he was.
But yeah, there's your little backstory.
Yeah, there's your homework.
There's your homework on the Austin 7. But it's really, really nice to drive, and it does show how things, I don't obviously know, Mr. Lomas, I don't know how far things came in those years, whether it's the difference between particular examples. This is a very nice one, but this feels a complete level above. On the days that you are going to drive this, let's be honest, if you are the person who takes one of these out in torrential rain, fair play to you. But in reality, these cars are going to get used on a sunny day, on a Sunday, and if that is the case, get a Pearl, mate. It's almost like a really pleasurable thing to do that. To actually give it the beat and actually to feel it notch in. Okie dokie.
Right.
Oh right, yeah, I've got to sit that
I'm
side.
simply going to do this, and I'm in the driver's seat. And so yeah, now Ben's in the back. I'm going to have a drive now, and Ben is going to experience the back, because you actually sit further back than the roof line.
Yeah, the body sort of dips off there.
So, shall we begin?
Aye.
First. Yeah, it's a much more rewarding car to drive, that's for sure. How's the back?
My legs are too long to actually sit that way, or they'd have to be either side, which is why I'm sitting a bit squareward. But I mean, obviously the headroom isn't an issue. I would definitely have had one of this. This is just the best way to do things. The Pearl. But the whole point of the car now, to own one, is the feeling it gives you. It's not AB transport. And if you were to have it for that purpose, why would you not have it with no room? Right, so yes, this is a very lovely Plymouth. We just want to show you how big cars got. Yeah, could be just under half the width. And lengthwise, the Plymouth begins, the Austin 7 starts, the Austin 7 stops, and the Plymouth continues. It's ridiculous. But this was the point of the Austin 7. The idea of it being small is that costs could be kept down. It didn't need a big engine to keep it running, or not keep it running, but actually get it up the hill or wherever you're driving, and then it evaded the horsepower tax. So the whole idea of small was money saving. But when they say small, he wanted the phrase small real car to be used, because everyone made small diddy cars, but they were toys. This was a car that could take the family of 4, it could be your daily runner. This was our Ford Model T moment. And, facts you may not know, the Austin 7 was BMW's first... Alice is watching me do journalism, I'm not sure they can hear me. No, neither did I, I'm just talking. The first BMW, the BMW Ditzy, was an Austin 7. The first Nissan used an Austin 7. In France, they were sold as Rosengart. So in France, they were sold as Rosengart, still the Austin 7. And Bruce McLaren's first race car and Lotuses were all born out of Austin 7s. But it spawned so many things, and it's lovely. So we should get back in now.
Well,
there we are. Goodbye. No. Thank you for watching our little video with the Austin 7. The thing I've worked out today is by far and away of the 3 pre-war cars I've driven, albeit not a lot to go on, my favourite so far, and a lovely sort of full circle from the first one I drove. Sort of completely changed my opinion of it. It's really, really nice to drive, and I think if this one's up for £11,500, again, you have to consider what you're getting in terms of the value to you. Cars like this, everyone looks at, they're completely different, and they do not lose value. That we know of, unless the world goes into chaos. But they are a safe place to put your money, and if you're a car person, I would rather spend £11,000 on this than a banged up GTI. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And as a way to just get around, it's lovely.
Yeah.
We've loved it. So yeah, it's for sale with the Motor Shed. We're going to be doing a lot of episodes with the Motor Shed on various different bits and bobs because the stock keeps it rolling.
And he has many, many tasty bits from pre-war to post-war and everything else. I was going to say after the war.
Yes, so thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye. Done.
Right, now what?